This daf in Yerushalmi Terumos. In the Art Scroll Hosvah edition, on the top is Zayin Alpha at the header. Cheresh Hamadaber in the Vilna, we're in the top of Dal Amud Aleph. There's no header; it just starts the Min Yitzrucha. So the Mishnah had said Cheresh Hamadaber ve'eno shameh lo yitrom yitrom Trumas or Truma. Like Cheresh who can speak but can't hear shouldn't take Truma. If he did take Truma is valid Truma. So the Gemara says the Min Yitzrucha. Who's this good? Min Yitzrucha usually means like who needs this. But here it means that who's the author of Mishnah? Rabbi Yossi. Hey, Rabbi Yossi, which Rabbi Yossi? Before I go further, I forgot to mention that our learning should be a schus for our nitzachon in the milchama in Eretz Yisrael. So, which Rabbi Yossi? Who did Tzniyan which you learned over there? Hakresh Mavlish Milos no Yotza. It says if somebody it says in Brachos you reach mine, you didn't hear what you were saying. You're Yotzi. That's Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Rabbi Yossi says you're not Yotzi. So we have to tell you, according to Rabbi Yossi, who says over there that actually that works out with the Min Yitzrucha, even according to the Pashup Pshat. So in other words, according to Rabbi Yossi, he says there you're not Yotzei, here you are Yotzei with the Evid, right? Because what would you have to hear over here? The bracha saying a makvos. So it's bracha saying a makvos, so therefore, but the Evid Yotzei. Talmudim we learned over there in Masechus Megillah, Kokshin, because Megillah, everybody is kosher read the Megillah. Chutzi Cheresh Shred V'Kota. So the Cheresh obviously is the Cheresh Hamadaber. Otherwise, there'd be no question of his reading the Megillah. So Rav Masra said the Rabbi Yossi. That's Rabbi Yossi who's saying that Cheresh can't read the Megillah. Now Rabbi Yosa explains. Rabbi Yosa Sarvi Meimar. You want to say. Mapni Rabbi Yossi Rabbanon. What's the mother's Rabbi Yossi Rabbanon? Rabbanon being Rabbi Yehuda. B'Kriyas Shema. D'chsi b'Shema. By Kriyas Shema it says Shema. You gotta hear. You have to hear. Ashar kol mitzvah, but not by other mitzvahs. In Mad Amar Ramasla Rabbi Yossi. It's Ramasla said that our Mishnah is that the Mishnah Megillah is Rabbi Yossi, and Cheresh can't. Even though it's mitzvah Rabbanon, Cheresh can't be motzi. Adam rahishma yishar kol mitzvahs. All mitzvahs you have to hear what the mitzvah you're performing. My time Rabbi Yossi. What's then the pasuk Rabbi Yossi is learning this out from? The chsiba zata mitzvah slav. You have to hear this mitzvahs. Pasuk Shmos says vav chavav, and therefore applies to all mitzvahs. Hishmiya lo aznecha mashpicha medaber. Your ears should hear what your mouth is saying. Amar Chisda said leiskan cheresh. In the Mishnah Megillah, really, the word cheresh is a mistake. Cheresh is kosher Kriyas Megillah. And Mashiras Lishanu Masnisa. The Mishnah just said cheresh shed v'katan because it normally has cheresh shed v'katan together. And so therefore, it kind of slipped. But really, cheresh is good. Okay, so then, the Mishnah is not going like Rabbi Yossi, but like Rabbi Yehuda, who actually is machshir. The cheresh to take off Truma L'Chatchila, and he said by Shmai holds the Mashmiel Azlecha. So Rabbi Yossi, the Tana Rabbi Yossi, the Amar Rabbi Yossi says Mistabra Yoy Rav Chisda b'Truma Shti Rabbi Yossi. It makes sense that Rav Chisda is going to concede by Trumas that it's Rabbi Yossi, because according to Rabbi Yossi, should be able to do the L'Chatchila. So therefore, who's the author of the Mishnah in Trumas? It must be Rabbi Yossi, and he holds with the Eved. That's okay. Rabbi Yossi, Taka, the close Rabbi Chisda said it's Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi Barabun, Rabbi Yossi said, Akoch Aramadi Rabbi Yossi. It has to be Rabbi Yossi. The Tanina, we learn Chamishte Kadmaisa, Velot Niso Imon. We learned later on beginning of the parak says Chamish lo yutramu, and it doesn't say cheresh hamadaber among the five who shouldn't take of truma. So we see that according to the Tana of this Mishnah, a cheresh hamadaber can be Torah. So the Gemara says the mishum shein trumas tuma, and if you're going to say that it's not mentioned not because it's okay, but because it's not okay, that truma is not truma even b'di'evet. So well, the again v'in means v'i. Mishum shein truma truma v'atnina chamisha basraisa. We have later on in the parak in Mishnah Vav, 5 people shouldn't take truma, but if they took up truma, b'di'evet it's okay. And Cheresh HaMedaber is not mentioned there, right? So it can't be going to Rabbi Yehuda, because Yehuda says he can do the Chatchila, right? So so since it's not mentioned later on, well, the Mishnah later on, actually, sorry. Mishnah later on is clear. Rabbi Yehuda says Machshir L'Chatchila. Like the Mishnah later on is like him, because it doesn't say that Cheresh HaMedaber and Shemeh is only b'di'evet. So who's the author of our Mishnah over here? They obviously hold, it's not, the Cheresh HaMedaber is not enumerated in the first Mishnah, people their truma is not valid whatsoever. He's not enumerated with the people at the end of the Mishnah whose truma is only kosher b'di'evet. So it must be the last Mishnah is going like Rabbi Yehuda. Therefore, Cheresh HaMedaber is kosher in L'Chatchila. Our Mishnah, which says that he in truma, it's got to be Rabbi Yossi. There's no choice. Okay. The Rabbi Yossi. So you have to say that our Mishnah is Rabbi Middle Mishnah is Rabbi Yossi. It says more further. Tamatin, we look over there in Meseches Chagiga. Hakol Chayvim B'Riyah, it's Mishnah. Hakol Chayvim B'Riyah, everybody has to go at the Beis HaMikdash on Yom Tov for the mitzvah of Riyas Kol Zchurcha, Shmos Chav Gimel Yud Zayin. Chutz V'Cheresh Shoyt V'Katan. Except for Cheresh Shoyt V'Katan. Okay, so the Gemara says, in the Kavanoki, says Minola. How do we know that? The other Gemara doesn't say it. Chavrai B'Shem Rabbi Lezer said, L'mani Yishmu'un L'mani Yilmadun. So they should hear, and in order they should learn. Okay, so the people who can't hear, Cheresh, people who can't learn, Shoyt V'Katan, so they're not chayiv and riyah. Ad kedum medaber beino shomeh. Okay, that works for a person, Cheresh who can speak and cannot hear. Shomeh ve'eino medaber. How do we know that a Cheresh who can hear but can't speak, which really we call Elam nowadays? How do we know that he also is excluded from riyah? Rabbi Yehuda said, "Leman yilmadun, leman yilamedun." The word leman yilmadun can also be read as leman yilamedun, to teach. So not just that you have to be capable of learning, you have to be capable of teaching. So since an Elam cannot teach, he's also potter from Aliyah Rego. Rabbi Yehuda said, Hadamra, the lace klolod Rebbe klolin. This teaches us that the cloud, which Rebbe says, is not necessarily a cloud. Or it's interesting, the Kamraki says that that's the same, I'm not sure it is, the same principle as Ein L'mein Min HaKlos and Erev Min Daf Chav Zayin in the Bavli. In any event, what's the cloud which is not applicable here, the Yotzim Min HaKlal here? Because there it's say about Cheresh, and it's, which normally would mean deaf mute, but there it actually means either deaf mute, or deaf and not mute, or mute and not deaf. They're all part of Ramiyah. That's what he says here. The principle of Rebbe is that whenever we say Cheresh, it's a Cheresh Sheina Shomei Ve'eino Medaber, who cannot hear and cannot speak. B'savin Meimar, and we hear learnt or understood. Both the one who can speak and cannot hear is a Cheresh, and the one who can hear and cannot speak is also called a Cheresh. And V'hatz Ninon normally is the lashon of a question, but here's a statement. V'hatz Ninon Cheresh Shecholatz Cheresh Shecholtza. It talks about that we have a concept of Cheresh which did chalitza, a Cheresh who did chalitza, v'achaletzes lekatan, and a woman who's chalitz for a katan. Chalitza psula. The chalitza is puzzle. the case over here is a case of not Shokerish who cannot speak. Because it says he has to say v'amar lo he has to say lo chafatzi kachdo, and she has to say v'amra mein yami. So this is these are people who clearly, even if they can hear, they cannot speak. So that yet it's tninon. That's what it says. V'amra b'yochel fish ein chulin lomar v'amra. But Taninan, yet we learned the cloud which we just learned before. Rabbi Yonah says evidence. Rabbi Yonah said, Rabbi Yonah, the lace cloud Rabbi Klolin. Right, it must be that the cloud Rabbi are not always clothing. They're yotzim in a cloud, and this is one of the yotzim. These are the yotzim in a cloud. The of Chershin who are not both deaf and mute. Okay, that brings us to 2 dots on Chesam Aleph and several lines down. So we will, of course, stop here for today.